The basic idea for the couch trip is not exactly original. It's the notion of what would happen if the inmates took over the asylum. In this movie, Dan Aykroyd plays an escaped mental patient who is mistaken for a psychiatrist and who is hired to come to Los Angeles to fill in on the radio show of another famous psychiatrist who has had a nervous breakdown.
Well, Dr. Maitland had to leave suddenly for Europe, and he asked me to find a replacement for him while he was away.
Well, what kind of money are we talking about here?
Well, let's just say that Dr. Maitland has about the most successful practice in Southern California.
I don't like that word about, especially when we're talking about money. Could you volunteer a few numbers?
Well, I'd say Dr. Maitland makes in the vicinity of, we'll give or take, a few dollars, say $1 million a year. Are you there, Doctor?
I'm here, Harvey, but I'm coming there.
Great. When can you start?
Is tomorrow too late? I need to get released from a few things.
You'll be here tomorrow.
Shouldn't we tell him about the radio show?
No, I don't want to scare him off. He's perfect, greedy, and dumb.
Well, wouldn't you know that once the mental patient becomes the shrink, he turns into a giant media hero just by talking straight with people.
Oh, I've got everybody in my control booth here, signaling me like crazy for a commercial. They've got these funny, desperate looks on their faces, like it'd be the end of the world if I don't stop for some silly announcement. But your problems are more important, and if you're like Yuri, you cannot afford therapy, come on down and see me at the offices of George Maitland in Beverly Hills. Most of the scenes in the movie center around the basic idea of the fact that this guy who is not a psychiatrist and has no credentials is able to fool everyone just by talking off the top of his head.
The buses have been categorized as to particular condition and ailment. It's all sexual malfunctions and dysfunctions on bus number 1. Nymphomaniacs?
Okay, I'm still here.
Don't let me out of your sight. Nymphomaniacs, please. Come with me. Thank you very much.
I liked a lot of the stuff in the couch trip, and one of the things I liked was Charles Grodin's performance. He is always so good as this very cool, kind of detached, prissy sort of guy, and he's good again this time. Aykroyd is good too, and Matthau, in that kind of walkthrough performance as the loony, steals a lot of scenes. But the couch trip never really pays off. It doesn't seem to be wound up with enough energy. It just sort of kind of meanders from scene to scene, so I only give it 2.5 stars. And I'm Roger Ebert.